Hi, I'm not just a cake lady, and welcome to my kitchen. I've had a lot of requests for pie crusts, so we're finally going to get to it. I had a couple of orders, so I thought, perfect time to do this. So, what we need to start with is, I use lard. And it has to be cold, so this has been in the fridge. So, open up the package of lard, and you need the full package. Sorry. Make sure you get all the paper off, because you don't want paper in your lard. Then I need 2 tablespoons, actually 3 tablespoons brown sugar. 1. Oh, this brown sugar is getting hard. 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 teaspoons of salt. Pastry needs a lot of salt. 1, 2. And I need baking powder. I need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Remember, that's to help the rise. We have brown sugar, which is our acid. So this is my pastry cutter. We talked about this earlier, or maybe I didn't talk about this. I'm pretty sure I did. Tools, and I'm just going to cut this lard. Just going to break it up a bit before I start adding my flour. This is hard work. Ugh. I don't know if you can see that. Just breaking that up a bit. So now I'm going to add flour. 5 cups of flour. 1, 2. I'm just going to cut the flour in to the lard. You can use shortening. I personally prefer lard. So, and again, it has to be cold. Just work this in. I don't know if the cameraman can get a closer shot. You want to break up all the chunks. So it's always better to add a little bit of flour at a time, not all 5 cups, because it makes it really tough to get in there. Working out the muscles today. Ugh. So that was 2 cups. I'm going to add a 1/3. Just going to keep working that in. Now ladies, this is a good time to get your rings off. I don't know if I can get mine off. Probably not. Because the dough gets all into your rings. That was 3, 4, 5. And I'm just going to keep working that in. Break it up. I'm going to get in there with my hands. I can do a better job with my hands. This is where it gets all over the place. But first, I have to do the liquid. So over here we need 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, 'm just going to beat that, and then I have to add enough water to make 1 cup. So, this is when I wish I had my rings off. I have to stand up on my tippy toes to get a good, get a good leverage and height on this. And you get flour everywhere. Just breaking up all those chunks. Now I'm going to add liquid. Just a little bit. Now I'm just going to get mixing it until it makes a ball. Until all the flour mixture clumps together. See how I'm just working it? Needs more liquid. I'm getting there though. Don't probably need a whole lot more. Sometimes it's weird. I can end up using the whole cup. And other times I don't need much. I should have taken my watch off too. Just got to get in there and get that all mixed. I'm going to see if I can clump it together in a ball. See how it's starting to form a ball? Oh, this is good. Add a little bit more. Actually, I probably don't need any more liquid. It's forming really good. There we go. All that hard work. Woohoo! There is my ball pastry. Pie dough. This is my pastry mat. Just mixing, make sure it's in there really good, nice mix. So I'm going to put it back in here. See, I didn't use all that liquid. I got everywhere. So you need a bit of flour to dust your surface. I use a pastry mat. It's just so much easier to clean up other than having to scrape off the counter, which I probably still will anyways. So I'm just going to take a bit. I'm making tarts today. Just going to roll the dough out. If you're doing a pie shell, which I will do, I'll do one. So I'm just going to take a lid and a pizza cutter and trace out my circle. And then I have the tart tin. These are really deep tart tins. I couldn't get thinner ones. So these are going to be really deep butter tarts. So fit that in there. Yeah, I don't like these tart tins. They're really deep. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crimp. I'm just going to fold over the edges. Just roll them over backwards. Go, and then I'm just going to crimp. Push it in with, I don't know if you can see, I'm just pushing in with a finger, using my thumb and my other, what is that finger? So, just doing this. There's one tart. I'm just going to do a pie shell. If you need to flour your rolling pin, you can do that too. It helps it to not stick to the pastry. Just keep rolling it out, working it around. You don't want it too thin because you don't want it to crack when it's baking. And you want to be able to work it. You don't want to lift it up and have it crack while you're lifting it onto the pie plate. See, you want to make sure that it's big enough. Well, it's pretty big enough, but I think it's a bit thick, so I'm going to keep rolling it. So this is where your mat comes in handy. I'm just going to flip that over. Oops, I missed the edge. So you can see how much bigger it is than the actual pie plate. So I'm just going to trim this off. Trim it off. You don't have to use a pizza roller. I use usually just a sharp knife, but oops, I made a mess there. Ooh, I can fix that. And now there's many ways that you can finish the pie shell. You can just press it down with a fork along the edge, like so. So you'd have to dip it in flour. You can do it like that. That's one way of finishing an edge. You can roll it over, again like I did with the tart shell. I'm going to cut a bit of that off. Roll it over again. And then just do the crimping with your finger. Press, 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 press. Stretch that out. Since I flatten that, I'll just have a pie shell with two different edges. It's going to bother me. I can't do that. There's not enough pastry here, but because I flattened it out. There you go. And that's our pie crust. So I'm going to make a whole pile of tart shells. But that's basically pie crusts in a nutshell. And there's, again, you can, if you're doing a pie crust that has a top on it, that's another lesson, but I'll leave it at that for now. And so we got tart shell and a pie crust. Thank you for watching Not Just a Cake Lady. So, if you know what's good for me, you will like my channel. You will subscribe to my channel. If you know what's good for me, do it.